example 4 from the Solving Radical Equations lab. We want to find the intersection points of the functions f of x equals the square root of x squared minus 1 and the function g of x equals the square root of 5x minus 5. Now, a definition for that is that both their y values are the same, or in other words, the functions themselves are equal to one another. So we're going to substitute each of the values of those functions into this definition. So we have the square root of x squared minus 1 is equal to the square root of 5x minus 5. And these both have the same radicals of a square root. So we're going to square both sides and be left with the insides of those radicals. Have x squared minus 1 is equal to 5x minus 5. Going to move everything over to this side. So you have x squared minus 1 minus 5x plus 5 is equal to 0. Or 5x minus x squared minus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. And factoring, this is x minus 4, x minus 1. So we have the possible x values of x equals positive 4 and positive 1. So what we need to do now is substitute these x values into either one of these functions to see two things: what the y values are for the point of intersection, and if it comes out to be a real number and not an imaginary one. An imaginary number is one where the value inside of this radical would be negative. So everything in this radical needs to be positive in whatever we check. So we could check in either f of x or g of x. We're going to just do f of x. So we need to check the values of x equals 4 and 1, and for f of x. So for x equals positive 4, we have our y value of 4 squared minus 1, which is the square root of 16 minus 1, which is just the square root of 15. This is a real number, so a point of intersection would be 4 square root of 15, and it's valid. For x equals 1, we would have the y value of 1 squared minus 1, which 1 squared is 1, so we'd have 1 minus 1, which is the square root of 0. The square root of 0 is simply 0, which is a real number, not imaginary, so this is a valid point of intersection. So our point of intersection at the value of x equals 1 is 1 and 0, and these are both valid points of intersection.